Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. All right, I want to do something a little bit different today. I've been playing a lot of Ashoka, right? Part of the reason I was playing Ashoka was to get some mementos that I want to use um, to set up. Iben, I think, will be one of the main leaders that I want to use through the game. Um, Through my play with the game, I think he's just so good, mostly because of this a unique endeavor called trade maps that allows you to gradually see other leaders' explored area. That feels good. Plus one sight on all units doesn't feel bad, and wildcard attribute points, two of them, two wildcard attribute points after your first civic feels really good too. It gives him so much different play style, right? Like it plays well with me. I'm not very militaristic. I don't want to go to war too much. I'd rather just sit back and focus on my own thing. And fortunately, military is only one victory path in this game, of which there are four in each age, and the other ones are all more geared towards, in my opinion, sitting back and turtling. Now you can do any combination of any of them. You can be militaristic and also build wonders for your culture victories. You can be militaristic and get resources by stealing them from other people. Um, you can be militaristic and scientific and advance through the tech tree to get to units faster than other people and use those in ways to kind of leverage strength. So again, anything pairs well, but I don't really like the military side of it, so I don't want to play that. I want to play the turtle upside. Ashoka, back to him, gave me that ability to kind of turtle up, right? Like I was expansionist, I was growing like crazy from the excess happiness. I was targeting happiness. I was getting a lot of food because I was getting happiness. I was going into celebrations more. When I was going into celebrations, I was getting more food. Everything felt good. I really liked playing him, but I'm ready to mix it up a little bit. I got him to level 5, which is what I was targeting, so that I could get his what is it? His this isn't it. This is I need to be here. Um, this memento. So getting 100 food in the capital when spending an attribute point on the expansion attribute tree. Well, with Ivan being able to drop 2 wildcard slots into expansion, which is usually what I'd want to do with them anyway, was giving me 200 extra food, just kind of spring loading my early games a little bit. Pairing that with expansionist also gives you a thing where every settlement gets an extra population. Pairing that with the Han, where when you have your first growth, you get your first growth is essentially doubled, just allowing me to build those big cities a little faster, and all of those big cities leading into getting more resources and compounding on itself, right? So that was this play that I've kind of been setting myself up for, and what I've really been wanting to build out. I want to switch up though a little bit. I want to play a different play style for a little bit. Mostly, I've been grinding a lot of games on Ashoka, and I like them. And I got that play style, but I want to do something else. I want to mess around with natural wonders a little bit. And I feel like, obviously, if I want to do natural wonders, Isabella's my girl. +2 gold on natural wonders might be important. Definitely kind of changes the play style a little bit. Um, Sight on naval units is going to be like this is pretty cool for everybody during exploration age because it is so much based off of naval units and finding those early landing spots, getting out and exploring the map. um, could be nice. And then 100% yields on natural wonders if you're working more natural wonder tiles than others. And then +2 combat strength for your naval units too. If you're going to go super heavy into natural wonders, you really want this level 9 memento. And if you're going to run the level 9 memento and getting that 100% yield, you probably also want the 2 gold on natural wonders, just so that if you're working a natural wonder, it becomes so daggum valuable, right? Um, I obviously don't have any of these right now. I want to level up Isabella a little bit. And I also, what I really want to do, I want to continue to work on my playstyle a little bit and progressing through the Antiquity Age specifically, um, kind of mastering it and then working my way into exploration and continuing to do that. I think Isabella is going to be strong, even if not in this save, if I do re roll, right? Uh, after getting that level 2 memento that I think will change my playstyle a little bit. But I want to see what I can do here. All right, so we get 2 mementos off the bat, plus 3 sight range um, instead of the normal plus 1 on search. Feels good for exploring the map. I think I want that. Um, it's definitely one that I'm thinking heavily about. Expansionist card slot is one that I'm thinking heavily about. And this one is the one that I think I really am interested in here. I want, and this is what makes it so hard, right? Because I say definitely, I want this. This is what I'm going to play. This whole play style based around. One of the things that stuck out to me about Natural Wonders is all of the Natural Wonders come with happiness on them. They all have an extreme amount of happiness. They may not have a lot of um, science, or they may not have a lot of food, they may not have a lot of production. Those kind of vary based off of which natural wonder we're looking at. But what is consistent on every one of them is happiness. So happiness can get us into the celebrations. Happiness can, with this, get us additional food. Can get us additional food. If we're going to be farming happiness like crazy in all of our cities that have natural wonders, and hopefully we're wanting to find more than one natural wonder to base a city around. We really like this. I don't think we have to worry about our social policy slots. With all of our happiness, we're going to have a lot of celebrations. Each celebration comes with a new social policy slot, so I think we're going to be good there. Military, we're avoiding like the plague. Economic, I think we're going to be okay on that one without needing to invest. I would run the 2 gold on natural wonders if I had it. I think would be the other one that I'm really heavily leaning into. Expansionist card slot would be nice. Really kind of thinking about that. We've got. I don't think I need the 50 gold on exploring. I think we're going to be fine on gold. Trade route might be nice. Trade route might be really nice. We know we're going to be placing our settlements wherever our natural wonder is. So having additional trade distance may be more important, so that we can set up our trade, especially if we are looking at these economic victories. Imported resource gold, if we're looking at economic, may not be bad. We're not really planning on doing battle and returning settlements, so I don't think I need to look there. I think because I don't have the base gold, I think I am going to go with scout range. Just trying to find what's on the map earlier seems good, right? So I am starting in antiquity, and we're doing everything but military here. Everything but military is our goal. We've got 3 victory paths that we really want to target here, and we got a couple of ways to go about doing them. I've become a really big fan of the Han. the Han and their capital and towns gaining additional population feels good. If I'm looking at wanting to set up at least even just my main city, right? If we land on 3 or 4 tiles worth of natural wonder, we don't want to make it awkward to control the natural wonder or to have to grow into it. Being able to reach it, grow our borders, whatever. Han feel good for grabbing the land and working the land. Another one that I've have become really partial to for much the same reasons. It's Greece, right? +3 influence on the palace is amazing. Influence is such a finite resource, and it's so daggum powerful. I can keep myself out of war, which means if I am avoiding military, this could be massive for me. If I do need to go to war, I've got hoplites, which give combat strength to one another when they're side by side. So free stats essentially are fantastic. They have gold coming in from their unique districts. They're getting happiness and culture through their unique building, and culture and influence through their other unique building, which if I'm if I'm needing to grab culture to be able to get a lot of my wonders and do the cultural victory and get the wonders, that's going to be important. If I need the happiness so that I can get through to celebrations, that could be great. I know my natural wonders are also going to have a lot of happiness, so maybe that's not exactly necessary. I am turning that extra happiness into food, like we talked about, as you can see from my icon up here in the corner. I really do value the growth right now. I'm an expansions player through and through. Um, so if trade routes are going to be easy, we're going to have enough tiles on the map that we're getting resources, and we're going to be throwing up cities. We're going to have gold. We're going to have people that we can trade with because of our, just not going to battle with them mentality. Culture, I don't think we're going to have much of a hard time there. We just need to find enough production or enough resources that give us production so that we can make those wonders in a quick enough time frame. And I think I might end up choosing the government that gives a bonus to wonder creation, um, just to kind of help speed that up a tiny bit. And that means where I think I'm going to struggle the most is science. I think science is going to be my most difficult piece to overcome. The Han can kind of help with that a little bit by growing. I mean, just more people on the map means more people potentially gaining science. Kind of hard to argue with that. I think they've also got some science in their specific cultural tree. Um, these guys kind of work under the same idea, right? Get the food. With food, you're expanding and you're getting um, additional science. It's not bad. Districts on rivers don't remove natural yields of the tiles are pretty cool. So building all of my districts on rivers would be my ideal. Um, Militaristic scientific, less important for me because I don't care about the militaristic aspect of it, and I think I have better other traits potentially. Um, Choosing two um, pantheons could be good. Definitely could allow me to lean into and really use my altars to gain a lot of benefit. Diplomatic scientific, a palace gains plus half a science for adjacent vegetated terrain. Um, so wanting to start in the jungle, really probably like ideally I look at this and I'm like, man, if I hit like redwood forest with the Mayas, I'd probably be set up for success, right? Because redwood forest I think gives science on vegetated, I think is its extra perk. Um, and then of course all the science that the palace is picking up from being next to vegetated terrain just sounds really good. What else do we have? We got a unique range unit that can see through vegetation and ignores movement penalties from vegetation. Okay, so just we're in the jungle, we're do good in the jungle kind of thing. Um, Unique scout can initiate combat, has one charge to place a jaguar trap that's invisible to enemy units, dealing 25 damage and ending movement. This ability recharges 5 turns after being or after placing the trap. So you can kind of set traps around my city to slow people up, get them not getting closer to me. Right, could be cool. Um, what is each research and technology? This settlement gains production equal to 15% of its cost. So if we make this unique quarter, we're as we go through the science tree, we're getting more production. Never a bad thing. Happiness, culture, adjacency, quarters, wonders. I mean, kind of synergizes with the idea that I want to get some wonders going. So if I can maintain the resource side of it myself, and then I've got the cultural and scientific from the Maya, this could be a good option. And then +3 science and +2 science I place on vegetative, +1 science adjacency for wonders, which I also mentioned that I want to lean into. I might have just talked myself into going with Maya. The Mayas. Um, Mississippians, I really liked these. I've played these a couple of times, a couple of my games. Um, they're good. Monk Mound is good if I'm going for that economic victory. It opens up some resource slots and it's just overall good. But I actually, if I'm going to lead into the science side of things, And again, that's kind of the goal that I'm setting for myself. Isabel starts really strong with natural wonders in play. Economic, cultural, and scientific. Trying to get 3 victory conditions in one is what I'm going for. Let's see what we can do. We're going to play on a standard game speed, I think. I think that'll be fine for us. Continent Plus is still good and small. All right, guys, getting ready, jumping in the game. Isabella of the Mayans in Antiquity Age, our self-appointed kind of strat that we're doing is to try to push through this age. We're going to try to hit a minimum in the military, right? We don't want to go into a dark age on military. So I think that's owning 6 settlement points or 7, something like that. I always forget. But we're going to try to fully complete the other 3 victory paths: cultural, scientific, and economic. And let's see what we can do. Playing with Isabel of the Mayas. Our mementos. Quick reminder for our mementos: we are running excess happiness is turning into food, and we are running increased sight range on our scout. Being the Mayas, we do have a unique scout unit that kind of doubles as a warrior. He can initiate combat, I think is what it said, and set traps. So our scout is going to kind of fill the role of our early military, which is cool because I really don't want to lean too much into military. Really, our goal here is find out what wonder we start with. Man, oh man, if we could start with Redwood Forest here, with all of our vegetated bonuses that we're going to get from being the Mayas, plus Redwood Forest providing science on vegetated terrain, I think we would be set for life. What do we have? We have Grand Canyon, right? So +2 science on flat terrain in this settlement. Science is not bad. We don't feel like we're in a terrible spot with that. Let's go ahead and get our hex grid resources yields on and take a quick look at our settlement. Ooh, we don't have fresh water here. Don't have fresh water, which may be a little bit of a penalty. I really talked myself up so much into the redwood. Would it be cheesy if I just reload the game and look for redwoods? Like, I think I can do this one. I think it'd be fine. We've got some decent food coming in from up here on this part of the map. We've got happiness down here. We can convert that happiness into food as well, so I don't even necessarily feel bad for picking it up. We could go through our cultural tree. We've got science off of flat terrain, of which there's a good bit. There is a good bit of flat terrain, which would mean nice science bonuses. Yeah. I think we can make it work, but this is definitely not what we were hoping for, I guess is the best way to do it. Let's put this one as a Grand Canyon, right? Let's jump back to the main menu. I want to try it again. I really would like Redwood Forest. I think that would be awesome for us if we could. We're just going to go through the same age creation, game creation here. We got everything set up the way that we want. I didn't actually pick my... You got to be careful with that, right? I almost went through the game. I was setting stuff up and almost didn't click to select my civ. And if I did that, I definitely would have started with Redwood, but I would have started with Redwood as a military power or something. It would have been crazy. It would have been really bad luck for me. All right, what do we have here? Oh my gosh, is this it? This is the Redwood Forest. Redwood Forest gives 1 culture, 1 science on vegetated terrain in the settlement. Oh my gosh. All right, let's get everything turned on here. Let's look. So we've got good food, good production, good happiness. I mean, this looks great. 1, 2, 3 tiles out. I think Redwood is only 3 tiles. It might be 4. I hope it's not 4. I really let's do this. Let's save this. This is like our perfect start anyway. So let's keep our formatting the same. We'll put a space. We've got the redwood forest. Um, I am pretty sure it's only 3 tiles. I want to throw down my city here and get started, right? Like this feels good. Um, our first thing, we're gonna get our Jaguar Slayer up and running. Right? How do we not? It's a scout. Scouts are good in this game. We do start with that extra money because we are playing Isabel, right? So we have started with money from finding our first natural wonder. The only thing that's sad is you don't have the little video for exploring the natural wonder. Uh, that would be kind of cool to have. So that's vegetated. That's vegetated. That's vegetated. We've got only the 3 vegetated terrains next to our capital. Maybe we should have moved a little bit closer. Um, Changed it up. I mean, I don't even know if we would have. All the movement time probably wouldn't have been worth it. Looks like we've got a coast over here, right? Yeah, it's coastal tile. Well, no, that's weird. It's coastal, but there's a hut over there on the other side of it. It's fine. All right, we're going science. We've got woodcutters around us, though. Normally, science, I try to shoot for writing right away and get the library up. But I think we're going to cover some of our early sciences well enough that I think going animal husbandry is still going to be a decent choice for us off the draw. We are going to get this second scout up and going, and we're going to send this first one over here. Let's see what we've got. We can grow our city. We're doing the only thing that makes sense off the draw, which is to get over here as quickly as possible. We want to start working these natural wonder tiles. Since we're Isabel, right, we're going to double the production on these as we work them, and they're just really strong tiles individually anyway. We're going to take the bonus culture, command our unit. We're going to move 1, and we're going to do a search over here. Interesting. So we got a nice little pond down here. We've got some more ocean tiles, it looks like, over there. I want to wrap around. I want to grab this goody hut and this goody hut and see what's over here. I see camels, right? So where my mind's going is if I'm targeting 3 victory choices, one of which would be economic and needing those resources, I need to make sure I've got enough resource slots available in my cities to house the resources that I need to put on display, of which there's a lot. 20 of them specifically, right? So I need to make sure I can grab camels so I can get the extra resource slots to put said resources on display and win the game. This is growing our city again. We're going to do the thing where we grab more tiles, grabbing our first redwood tile, but also pushing our boundaries out a little bit more to make sure we're encompassing a good amount. We want to grab these. They're going to pay for themselves relatively quickly. Remember, we are running the memento that's transferring some of this happiness back into food, which also feels pretty good. I think we're going to pick up pottery now. And for our civics, let's take a quick peek around. Jumping into mysticism early might not be terrible. I like being able to pick our bonus first before some of them get taken out. So we don't hate that. I do want to see what I've got over here. I can build my unique building that gives happiness. We've got science for adjacent vegetated terrain. on our altars, which is nice, but we can get that later. Like, I don't think it's crucial off the pool. Yeah, I think I really want to jump into mysticism early, and then I think I'm going to take um, my uniques from there. All right. We're at 11 and 7 on our growth right now, which doesn't feel bad. I also don't feel bad creating more Jaguar Slayers since they are the same combat strength as a warrior, apparently. So, really, having scouts and warriors being interchangeable doesn't feel horrible with the added benefits of search and movement. Um, Sight as well, right? The lookout towers, all of that stuff. Rowing would be somewhat nice, however. Might need to consider growing. Part of my problem is I don't want to take out any of these vegetated terrains. Maybe using those later, and I think putting a granary down will displace those. Um, Same thing with a saw pit. I mean, I could give up one to kind of grab some stuff, or wonder if I'd do better just waiting a little bit. And grabbing more of these tiles later for those types of things. Let's do that. Let's get another Jaguar out. Kind of go that direction. Get additional culture and wonder construction speed. I think that's going to be important for us, mostly the wonder construction speed. Um, I'm big about the production and science early on. I want to try to push out a few things and get some techs unlock. Even with this nice start, I think it's still going to be important for me. We could get an additional chariot for 50 gold, which is normally not a bad buy, but I really don't think I want the chariot. Makes a pretty big difference. Not needing the unit, even if it's a good buy, I don't think it's something that I want. Let's grab this hut. We have some not so friendly friends up here. I'm fine taking the production and such here. Push this unit out a little faster. I am going to break down. I'm just going to go ahead and build that. It'll be fine. We're going to come up here. We're going to press search. Take a look at what we have. See if, nope, we don't have a Great Barrier Reef. Wouldn't that have been perfect just to come over here and have Great Barrier Reef next to some camels? I do think I'm going to need to pop down a city like right over there on the river. Xerxes with his King of Kings persona, I think. Let's spend a little influence to make him not mad at us. Again, we want to avoid battles where we can. We're kind of content with that. Still need our city to grow some. Want to get that last redwood forest plane working, and then we can start grabbing some of these additional resources. We've got food and production here, production and happiness here, which is also leading into food. We've got silk and gypsum this direction, elephants that we can work all together, meaning we've got a lot of resources here that we would love to be able to grab. We're going to come one tile here and press search, knock out a chunk of the map. These guys being on the corner is nice-ish, except we're the only people for them to attack right now. That's a little bit less than ideal for us. We, of course, don't want to be attacked. We don't want people that are hostile this close to us, and we are so far away from making friends with them. It's a little bit ridiculous. We can grow our city. Oh, we've got both of our tree points that we still need to grab. That kind of sucks. I thought we were a little bit further along. Um, it's fine. We're going to make it work. We'll just keep growing. We've got 5 turns until our next growth. I think this is the edge of the world up here. Just to confirm, I'll walk a couple tiles closer, probably go there next turn and do another search, just to make sure there's no resources up there or anything that we really feel like we need. And then I'll wrap this guy back around, going this way. And come over here and press the search button. Oh, we have a new player that has entered the game. My boy himself, Ashoka. Although this is the more militaristic version of him. So far, Xerxes and Ashoka, both military powers, right? So we're going to need, our diplomacy is going to be a pretty big deal this game, trying to neutralize any kind of threats, making sure they don't want to come kick our ass. That makes me wish I would have played the Greeks, right? Get some extra influence building to be able to dissolve some of these hostilities, potentially. With pottery out of the way, we could go ahead and swing into writing. I think I'm cool with that. Try to get some early extra science points. We might even try to master it early to get that extra 2 science passively rolling from having our first. It's not a relic in this age. What is it? Great work on display. Whatever thingy that's called. We've got a saw pit, and we can bring in some good value on it. Let's go ahead and drop it in. And then down this way, I'm just going to keep pushing a little bit more south, seeing what we can find. Scout's going to come over. We're going to try to grab this goody hut that's this direction. Scout's going to come over here. Whew, 45 influence is really hard to pass up, especially after we just said we're going to need to have a lot of influence on hand. I think my first big chunk of influence spend is going to be over here. I want to start the timer ticking on these guys to try to make them a little less hostile to me. They are one of the biggest, baddest threats I'm staring down early game. So if I can do my part to try to neutralize them, contain them, and even have an ally if battle were to break out later, I view that as a pretty good thing. I value this coastline, I think. I didn't expect the coast to be like right there, but that's fine. We have another hostile camp over here, though. This one cultural. We got a narrative choice, culture, gold, or +1 culture on palace, but minus 25 gold. I started with a lot of gold, and I value the culture per turn a pretty good amount. We got our mysticism in play. I think we're gonna jump towards our science a little bit over there. +3 influence on the altar may be really important for us. I think that's what I'm going to take. Needing to be able to defuse these wars, these potentially harmful situations later, with influence being my main tool to do so, might be good to have a little bit extra staying power. We're going to take out this scout, mostly just because we can, and then continue moving on around. Back in our city, it is important that we get this altar up and running quickly. getting that influence going. Like we said, that's our staying power in this game. So being able to make sure we've got it generating is our lifeblood. Do we have another hostile camp in the upper corner? Oh my gosh. Thought I really wanted that camp, that hut. That warrior has changed my mind. I was winning that battle, but not enough that I want to keep fighting it. Another hostile camp up here in the far frigid norths. Is that another natural wonder? No, that's not the natural wonder. I don't know what that little sound was. Oh, a new continent. We're choosing a celebration. We're not building wonders right now, so let's go ahead and bump up our culture a little bit. +2 culture on the palace. I think I value over the gold. Let's move one and search. If we've got anything down here, not really. 50 gold, 50 happiness, or 45 culture. I'm gonna take the culture, grab this goody hut. We've got culture, food and science. Food and science sound great, actually. Culture, science, happiness towards our next celebration. I think I'm going to take a chunk of science. Trying to spring load myself a little bit on the science front. Food we should be pretty decent on in our capital. I don't know how I feel about trying to jump towards Hanging Gardens, which normally I value pretty highly. But mastery, +1 science on our science buildings. Let them do what they're doing just a little bit better. Grab a codex as well. Really sets us up nicely for having that library in play. That, again, I'm probably already going to want to have. Back here in our city, what are we doing? We've got all of our forest trees under control. I think we're starting to gather resources now, right? And food and production is a pretty good one to have. I'm going to take this culture, try to zip through. This science building here is going to be pretty clutch, getting us some really nice science gains, by the way. 5 off of one building this early feels powerful. Powerful, I think, is the word that I want to use there. Maybe stupid, but powerful is probably what I want to use. Machiavelli. Another diplomatic power here. And speaking of, I looked at him. I saw I've got good influence. I can go ahead and start targeting one of these camps. Now I'm in the triangle here of neutral people, right? One that has a military presence, another one with a military presence, and another hostile that's more culturally equipped. And I'm going to take the culture one. If my victory condition is leaning more towards wonders and cultural path in general, I think they're going to be more powerful for me. All right, well, we got a civic knocked out. That one feels powerful. How do the rest of these feel? I mean, just straight up having bonuses for unlocking technologies and civics that help the other one feels great. So I think I am going to continue to kind of gun towards my cultural civics. Um, this guy's kind of in my way, so I'm going to search just to knock out a couple more tiles where I can there. And then this scout is honestly not in a good spot. He's a little injured. He's stuck in the corner. There's only so much he's going to do. He's going to try to run, but I don't know if he's going to make it away. I don't want to take 2 turns to kill a scout, so I'm going to move, try to circumvent him. I probably need to get some military units popping up over here to defend a little bit, and we really want to start looking at our second city choice, right? Like I need to get something down. I'm still eyeballing these camels, so I want to come over here potentially. I like these units over here, and having a coastal city going into exploration could be really good. Maybe coming down here, I've got 2 piles of gypsum and wine. I forego dates and wool, which normally I value highly. So tough choices. I know these camels are definitely something I want to pick up, so I'm thinking this tile would be a good one for me that sets up my coastal city. Or maybe not even a city. Maybe this one can just be a town to collect some resources, and maybe this one be a city. I'm not really sure, but having the flexibility and at the same time settling both is definitely a really good option for me. Just kind of walling off this section of the continent. It's something that I'm not opposed to. We're going to take this codex. We do have more codex than we have slots for. Oh, this is an interesting choice. Oh gosh. So we could take another codex, right, which gives us a flat 2 science, and it gives us victory condition that we can start working towards, which is nice. But I'm surrounded by so many people that I think this influence might be what I take here. 75 influence equates to a lot of turns. It equates to a lot of turns with me only generating 13 per turn. And it takes 170 for me to start converting some of my friendly peoples. I mean, that's a pretty large chunk. I am going to take it. We're going to see what happens. I think I'm going to be able to go through the tech trees fast enough to find those relics on my own. So we're going to jump in. We got good food production, so I'm going to hold off on irrigation for a minute, and instead I'm going to start masonry. Come over here, hit the search button. Who do we have down in this bottom corner? Oh, this must be Xerxes hiding down here in the bottom. We hadn't found his cities yet. Okay. Still want to get some good distance between us and that warrior up there. And then we're probably actually going to bring this Jaguar Hunter back home to start trying to defend the home front a little bit. Since he does work as a warrior in a way. 5.5 science just right there on our starting node seems really good. All right, +1 science for adjacent wonders, but apparently does not count natural wonders as a part of it. Let's toss it down over here. I don't know that I love that positioning, but just kind of see what we can do with it later. This was not really a good little hub to jump into, not really seeing much there. Come down this way across the river because we saw a hostel over there. And over here, come on back home. Or, yeah, come on back home. That's fine. Uh-oh, we got the warriors coming in. Let's just go ahead and purchase a ranged unit. start dealing with those guys. I'm still wanting to find. I want to see if there's another natural wonder on the continent. I would like to make sure I'm building towards and working towards. If there is another natural wonder, getting towards it, onto it quickly, hopefully. They're slowing up my production of my first big building up there. Not loving that. Continue to soften up that warrior a tiny bit. Scientific attribute point coming in. Xerxes is mad at us. It's not great. Not great at all. All right. I'm going to work on sailing either of these cities that I'm looking at setting up. I've talked about putting them on the coast. So I think that is going to be an important thing to consider for us. Still trying to grow our city, of which we now can do. Just continue to pepper these warriors where we can. Bring this guy in. We'll start his healing next turn. Oh, they've got so many military units up here. I want to buy a settler. I want to get a settler going, but I really don't feel like I can until I thin out some of these military units. Got another hostile neutral camp over here. I'm gonna run back this way. We're gonna get you. Where's the heal button? There's the heal button. Have you get some ranged attacks in here, and in the meantime, let's go ahead and. Oh my gosh, Xerxes is already working on making him a little happier towards him as opposed to towards me. This is actually a really tough game, tougher than I anticipated it being with starting with Redwood Forest, but I think it comes down to the powers that are in the game with me. Definitely leaving me in a tough spot. The natural rollout of being in the middle of 3 camps that are all upset with me too does not help. And Xerxes being at war with me and sending his people that he's trying to convert over towards me is also not making me super happy. I think we can overcome it. I think we can work towards it. But I am going to pause here, kind of take a look at what we're doing. And more importantly, my wife's home with some groceries that I have to go help unload. But thanks for watching, and I really appreciate any thoughts that you guys have on the game, and I'll see you next time.